From the weather team you can trust, here's Chief Meteorologist Eric Snyder.
All right, so now that we have made it to a quarter after 6 o'clock here, I got a little bit of good news and then a little bit of meh news. The good news is the heaviest and the widespread precip that we've had through most of our day is now gone. We like that. Here's the meh news. Lost another degree in Rochester. We are down to 31. And, you know, truth be told here, a lot of us along and north of the thruway, there's a lot more 31s and 30s, even some 29s that are starting to show up. So, you know, you get to this point where even with the precip not being as heavy, that doesn't mean it's gone, number one. And even if it were completely gone, number two, you look outside, everything's pretty wet out there, and as we start to continue to drop a little bit farther here in the hours ahead, you still have to entertain the notion of some icy travel. Not widespread. This is not an ice storm. This is none of that, but this is going to be one of those nights where, just as a blanket rule, especially if you're north of the thruway where you're moving around, don't be slamming on the brake. Take it easy on bridges and overpasses especially. Now, even though the heavy stuff is pulled off to the east, redevelopment here of generally lighter precip. The problem with this is the thermal profiles haven't changed a whole lot. So even though it's not heavy freezing rain any longer, there's still some light freezing rain that is falling there. And remember, it's doing it now with slightly colder air. So you will probably have more spots where you end up with more of a sheen and a glaze on some of the branches and the trees. It's not going to be enough to bring anything down or cause power outages, nothing like that. But the freezing rain and even some ice pellets, that'll be sleet mixed in there. I think that holds here for a few more hours. Farther to the west, it's done in Toronto. Buffalo got off of this almost completely, without issue here, ironically enough, but even there's not much going on. There's your heaviest stuff from about Syracuse now toward the Albany area, with rain mixing with snow. So a little tug and pull in this whole thing. I've got precip chances dropping quickly, especially after midnight. I think by tomorrow morning, there's nothing showing up on radar. But why are we still holding tight with some impacts with that reality? Remember, because we stay below freezing. You're going to need to get back above to be able to get some of that ice off sidewalks and driveways, unless you want to go out there and, salt everything. So give this after about 8 or 9 in the morning, and then travel conditions will start to get green lit here with no more additional issues. But we always watch this. In this kind of environment with a lot of low-level moisture, even when the models say there shouldn't be anything showing up, there's usually a little something that's showing up, again in the form of some freezing drizzle. By daybreak tomorrow morning, the air mass should dry out enough. We don't talk about wintry weather anymore, and we get close to 40 degrees by the time we go into the afternoon. Now, not talking about the wintry weather is a short-lived affair. Another slug of moisture comes in Thursday night into Friday that could, down here in this part of the state, introduce a wintry mix, but here this go around feels like it's going to end up just being all rainfall. And you're back in the 40s again going into Friday afternoon. Behind that system, we take a turn towards somewhat cooler air. Probably a couple of days this weekend where the highs are going to be close to freezing. Numbers drop into the 20s, but overall the snow shower coverage should just be cosmetic. Nothing that we got to move around.
Yeah.